Hey, it's Brook Hoover from Surf Zombies. I'm wearing my Lust for Rust shirt today. I've got my 98 Jaguar. I'm ready to think about surf instrumentals. If you want to get good at surf instrumental music, I think one element you want to get under control is the triad. Let's do some major triads. I would maybe simplify and say we can do major and minor triads. Those are the two big categories. Think of maybe minor over here and major over there, and sometimes they're going to meet and combine, and they make it possible to navigate chord progressions and make it so you can play over the top of chords. So let's say we're going to do E major. And in a regular E major chord, it's E, B, E, G sharp, B, E. If we reduce that down, it's just E, G sharp, and B, and that is the root third fifth. So we'll just take out, we don't need 3 E's and 2 B's, we just need E, G sharp, B. Which sounds incredibly simple. Very basic, right? Now you're going to want to find those all over the neck, so you can kind of wander from one part of the neck to the next and be able to play that chord in any part of the neck. So let me see if I can do that. Yeah, that's fun. So you got to be able to find your E notes, G sharps, and B's, and they're pretty simple shapes. And those we're going to call them triads. A 3-note chord, we'll call it the triad. That's really good thing to practice. And remember, you can they don't have to be in the order of E, G sharp, B. You can go B, E, G sharp, or G sharp, B, E. You can kind of flip them inside out and stretch them around, and you could make it like my reverb kind of cuts in and out. Aha! Much better. So let's just look at a few of these shapes. The first one I did was this 2-1-0. If we take that up an octave, it'd be 14, 13, 12. How about this? That's a 7, 6, 9, or 7, 6, 5, or 4. Now I'm gonna invert it and play like that's like a B, E, G sharp, 7, 7, 6. And here's a great one. The looks just like a D chord. That's a B, E, G sharp. Take that up an octave. Right. Or you can do it like that's like a D shape. Then you got your A shape at the 9th fret. Or up here. That's, what do we got? That's way up there. 17, 18, 21. So you really want to rule your whole neck. You can't just know a little bit. You really got to know the whole thing. And did we do this? A little technical. I give up. So that's a 0, 4, 7. All right, that's important. Let's say you want to, now you can add notes to that. How about, so you can start making it talk a little bit. So I added a 6th interval. That's a C sharp. We can color it with other intervals. That's a 6th interval, a C sharp. Now we're going to add a D. That's a flat, or a dominant 7, a flatted 7, there's others. Let's say we want to move it to an A. A is A, E, A, C sharp, E. Reduce those. We don't need two A's or two E's, so let's just go A, C sharp, E. A, C sharp, E is an A major triad. How about this? Or so you can, it's this, kind of the same shapes we just did. An A shape or a D shape. Oops. Reverb's back. Or how about an E shape? No, that's it. Yeah. I keep my repair guy pretty busy. I always bring these reverbs to him. Hey man, can you fix that? He's like, yeah, you had one wire that was just a little loose. It was the way it connects with those RCA cables. They're kind of chintzy. They do fail. He's like, come on, man. You can fix that yourself, can't you? But yeah, I'm paranoid. I don't want to get to a gig and have it not work, so. Now you can move from E to A. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But to actually control them perfectly, they will slip away from you. So you have to really concentrate. So if you see us playing live, we're kind of like, ah! We're trying to hold it together because these little shapes could collapse at any second. That's E to A. You might want to, now let's go to B. E, A, B. Check this out. B would be maybe like this. To make a B chord, you gotta know that's B, D sharp, and F sharp. Same kind of shapes. Here's the A shape at the 4th fret, and then 16. Or your E shape. Oh man, tight. Or this little F shape. So let's say we want to play a progression that's E, A, B. Oops. Oops. E, A, B. That's fun. All right. Yes, I messed up. But remember, I'm not AI. I'm a real human. I make mistakes. I accept that. All right, so you got to master these little boogers. You might want to get a book about triads or look at more videos from other guitar teachers. Any way you can do it, but the best way is to actually figure it out yourself. Now, I always have students that say, well, I've got a poster in my room with all the notes, scales, triads, chords, and it's like, so let's hear you play it. Like, well, yeah, okay, I have a lot of books up there, but I can't play everything up in the book. But you really have to it's all between you and your guitar and putting in the time to learn these stupid little triads. They are wonderful, though. Now, that's just E, A, B. What if you wanted to add a minor chord? Let's do A minor. Well, let's go E minor. Here's E major. This is the 3rd, the G sharp. If you flat that, suddenly the chord is very dreary. Better add some tremolo for that. Slow, man. More reverb. Maximum. Very different sound when you flat that third. Flat means you're going to go one fret that way. That's lower. That's higher. Okay. Often I'll tell a student, hey man, move one fret lower, and they'll go, no man, that's higher. This one, okay. I think that's funny. But you gotta have a sense of humor, man. So let's say, we're just gonna move the G sharp down to G. Let's say we're gonna do this. This is a good one. E major. This is our third, the G sharp. Flat it. Do you hear that hum? I'm getting sick of it. Now you gotta learn the triads as minors. I turn my volume down, it still buzzes. Alright, so how about here's E major. This is a good one. 7/7. 6 is major. 7/7/5 is minor. Or here's your basic riff. Major, now minor. Famous riff. So here's major, minor, major, minor, major, minor, major, minor. Yeah, you just got to get after those. And if you need help, let me know. If you have specific questions, I'll make a specific video just for you. So let's say we're gonna go. Let's go to the A and make it minor. Here's A major, A minor. That's where it all comes down to, is your basic chords. Dumb old A chord, good old A minor. What happened? One note went that way. You just got to compare it. How about an A major here? A minor. So A major chord is A, C sharp, E. A minor is A, C, E. Let's go here. Or here. Up here. So let's say we're going E major to A minor. Oops. So you have to control that. You can't just wish it there. You have to spend the time on your guitar figuring out all those major and minors, then combine them. So that was E major to A minor. So if you want to write your own surf song, let me get rid of that tremolo. So let's say it's sort of like a... E minor, or E. Now I'm doing E minor to A minor. Fine. So that then the riffing would be like. So I went to a B there, which is major. So sometimes, you combine major and minor in a way that sounds semi-recognizable, or if you want to make your riffs unrecognizable, mix it in a way that is kind of theoretically incorrect or kind of random and angry and stabby. That can be very cool to make it abstract and kind of weird. But what I was doing was very, very normal. E minor, A minor, E minor, B7. Or you can go E major, A minor, E major, B7, or B major. So, yeah, then we get into the dominant sevens. Like, let's do a B, make it a dominant 7. To do that, we got to add an A note to it, which will push you back to your root E minor. Somehow I switched from E minor or E major to E minor. That's all right. We can do that. So here's E minor, A minor, E minor. And so on. You can just, it could go all day. So to make your B7 arpeggio or triad thing, remember the B chord is B, D sharp, F sharp. Now we're going to add an A to it. So here it is. See how it leads back to E minor? That was B, D sharp, F sharp, A. Get back to E minor. So I was just doing B's, B, A, F sharp, D sharp, A, or B, A, F sharp, back to E, like a little scale step. And yeah, you got to know your scales like crazy too. So, to really play this thing, triads, scales, notes, chords, those are the fundamentals. And that's kind of what, as a guitar teacher, that's what I push, is every lesson we do our chords, we do some sight reading, we do some scales. And, if you bypass all that, maybe you can carve out some stuff by randomly slamming it together, and which is really the way I learned. Just endless hours playing, just like that doesn't work, that not really knowing how it works. So if you step back and be a little more analytical, get your scales, triads, chords, work on those, focus on those things, then, throw it out there and mix it up in your own way. So it might save you a few decades of just fumbling around and get, kind of like you're sharpening your point and just going straight in, man. So again, triads, scales, chords. Now, of course, I'm going to mention I do have a book about chords, which it's not the ultimate book, but whatever chord book you have, use it. My book is okay. I can lead you through it. I do have another book about, which is kind of based on a lot of scales, riffs, licks. It's got some chord progressions, arpeggios, and so forth. It's got some triads. A couple of books, but, obviously I have a few others up there and a few over here. You can get that info from books, videos, cassettes, CDs, online demonstrations, private lessons, or just sit and figure it out yourself like I did. Totally up to you, but whatever you do, just take action today. Get your scales, riffs, licks, whatever you need to do, and put it all together. Make your own sound. It's a lot of fun, and it keeps me very engaged in life to have a band called Surf Zombies. We might have a couple of these shirts left. I know we do, but not a lot. So if you're interested, let me know. We can talk about books, shirts, or questions about Triads. Let me know. I'll help you out any way I can. All right, I better go clean up some stuff, man. Have a good day. Merry Christmas.